brokerage. So love having you. Love having you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Dr. Fatumata, how are you?
Speaking of which, they're calling me now. I gotta go.
All right. Take care, Anthony.
All right, see ya.
Hey, doctor, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm currently at work, but I just jumped in here because I saw your name, and I'm thinking of getting my license in 2022.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get you a license. You are so amazing. I've been in your rooms, and I've been in the women in real estate rooms, and so I know exactly who you are. It's such an honor to have you on my stage. And when are you going to go in? Are you already in the process? Have you done your documents? Where are you at in the process right now?
I'm at the beginning stage. I just paid for the classes. It's going to start in February. So then I can get my realtor thing. Then I can take the exam. So I'm just starting now.
Fantastic. I am so excited. In this room, we have people that are newly licensed, we have people that are seasoned, and we get all sorts of amazing people in these rooms that pour out to each other every day. And I do it Monday through Friday. I usually start at 12 o'clock, and it depends on how long people want to talk. We've done it from 12 o'clock to 4 or 5 o'clock if there's other moderators that want to come in and share what they're doing. That's the magic or the secret sauce to their business success. And I created this because I really wanted to pour into new agents that don't have a mentor, don't have somebody that they could go to, or feel like they need a little bit more support, which a lot of us do. And it happens in this business. But that being said, I love helping people to get to their next level. And that's one of the reasons I created this room. And that's why I stream it on my platforms, on my other platforms. So that way we can all help each other out. Because we've all started from, taking all the tests and doing all the classes. It's crazy out there. But thank you so much. Why don't you introduce yourself, doctor, so that way Mansoor and anybody else that's listening on my streaming channels knows who you are. And then we'll go to Mansoor next. Oh, you're at work, so you probably can't talk. But when you're able to talk, feel free. Mansoor, welcome up. This is newly licensed now. What? Where are you at? Are you newly licensed? Are you taking the exams? Where are you at, Mansoor? Nice to meet you. All right. Cat got his tongue. So let's do this. I'm going to ping some people in and see who is willing to come up on stage and share with us how was their weekend, what they're doing today, how everything is going. I had a wonderful weekend. I showed properties on Saturday. I showed properties on Sunday, but you probably know because I did a short YouTube. I did a short YouTube channel and I did a couple Instagram posts. So if you saw my Instagram and my YouTube channel, you saw that I was like going around and showing properties this weekend. So welcome everybody. I'm going to do some pinging, and if you want, Doctor, if you want, you can ping as well. And Mansoor, can you speak? Did I say your name right?
Yeah, I can speak. Sorry for that. There was the internet was too weak. Sorry for that. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. Welcome to Newly Licensed. Now what? Are you newly licensed or are you looking to get licensed?
Thank you. Okay, I'm the new one.
Fantastic. And where are you located?
I'm from Afghanistan.
Well, welcome. Tell me where that is. Oh, did you say Afghanistan?
Yes. Now I'm in Afghanistan. Thank you from your. I think, as you know, the condition of Afghanistan.
Yeah, prayers for you in Afghanistan. I got brothers and sisters that went over there, and unfortunately, some of them didn't come home. But prayers for you in your country, and prayers for your health and safety during this holiday season.
Yes, okay. That's when the people are existing in a bad situation. How about you? Where are you from?
Have you thought about? Are you anytime in the future you thinking of coming into America?
Yes. No, until I'm not come here in America.
So what is you have internet in Afghanistan and you have access to Clubhouse in Afghanistan. That's pretty amazing.
Yes, this is the first time that I'm existence in Clubhouse. Okay, and sorry for that. I'm not a fluent speaker. Okay, in English.
You speak well. You speak well. So, welcome to the room.
Yes, thank you.
Do they have real estate licenses in Afghanistan?
Pardon. Can you repeat again?
Oh, absolutely. Do they, in Afghanistan, when people are selling houses and buying houses, is there real estate licenses in Afghanistan? I've never been there, so I don't know what how it works with real estate there.
Yeah, sorry for that. I not catch your sentences because you speak so fastly.
Real estate buying and selling. How does that work in Afghanistan?
Yes, it's easy. Everyone can start a business. You can sell and buy some things, everything in Kabul, in Afghanistan.
Do they need a official license in Afghanistan, or can anyone do it?
It has a special license.
Very cool. Very cool. It's a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for educating me on how it works in Afghanistan. Is there any questions you have coming into the room? Do you have any questions about real estate in general? All states and countries are going to have different laws and rules and regulations. So is there something you want to educate us on how it works in Afghanistan that you can tell us? Because I'm sure nobody in this room has been in Afghanistan before. If so, I would appreciate, sharing how it works in your country.
Okay, yeah, I think that our regulation is Islam. Okay, we have now, as you know, all Afghanistan captured Taliban, one sect of religious. Okay, but now before we have a democratic system, republic system, but now this is Emirat. But all people, all Afghans, they are not, they are unhappy in this condition, because this is not acceptable for all Afghans, for the people, for the human. But it's really bad for us.
Absolutely, I agree. It's a bad situation, and hopefully it gets better as time goes by. But yeah, it's from what I could see from American television, of what's gone on there. But that being said, what we see here is going to be different from what is actually going on, because I'm sure there's filters that stop a lot of it from being televised.
Yes, of course. We had a big damage. Okay, but now we don't have any way to leave Afghanistan. All Afghanistan is stacked in Afghanistan. Okay, some people they are don't have this effort to go from Afghanistan to the foreign countries. This is the bad situation. This is the really, really bad situation that people don't have effort to go out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to reset the room. My name's Sam Silver. I'm with eXp Realty. I'm in Southern California, in the USA, and I created this room to help realtors and people that are thinking about getting a real estate license to get to their next level in business. So I appreciate you coming into the room. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to notify some other agents or some other people in the clubhouse about this room is going on. So feel free to add anybody into this room that you know is interested in getting a real estate license, or maybe is licensed and wants to help other people to get to their next level. That's pretty much it. But I start at 12 o'clock, and we probably roll till about 1 o'clock or 1:30, depending on how many people we have that comes into the room. It's Monday, and it's Mentor Monday, and we make an attempt to help to mentor people to get to the next level of their businesses. So, welcome. I'm going to put you back in the audience.
Okay. Yes, okay. That I'm also interested with business speak. Okay, because I also like to be a businessman.
Okay. What kind of business do you have, Mansoor?
I want to sell something like bring something from foreign countries and sell in Afghanistan.
And what is the price point for what you're selling in Afghanistan? What is the price point, and what is the product that you sell in Afghanistan? All right, so I hate to go down rabbit holes. Let's do this. Newly licensed now what? What do you need to know to get to your next level in real estate? So I wanted to reset the room and to make sure that everyone can speak. Doctor, I know you're working right now, so I'm sure it's difficult to speak. But what I did was I did give you a moderator badge. So if you have anybody that you think could use this room right now in their business, please feel free to ping. I can't ping right now. I think I'm out of pings. So feel free to share. And let me see. I'm trying to ping that link here. And my link here is going to also have, it's my 10K link. And it's also going to have, if somebody wants to get a real estate license, there's going to be a link in there for that. If somebody needs assistance in how to market themselves, there's some information on that. I have a lot of links in that link on top. And feel free to share that link as well. And I'm working on getting into my Instagram. For some reason, it's not letting me. So I guess I'm not going to be doing my Instagram class today unless I put it in later. So let me do this. I'll go back here. And I'm on my streaming channel as well at the same time. Let's see. I like to talk about I am statements. I am. So give me 1 second. I was going to grab some material real quick since there's not a huge amount of people in this room. There's a book called Prayer of Jabez, and I want to talk about that today. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I recently found this book in my bookshelf, so I wanted to share it with folks in these rooms because a lot of what we learn is pretty cool from books. So let me do this, and let's see. Working on this. Okay, thank you, Doctor. I appreciate it. So, the Prayer of Jabez. The Prayer of Jabez is, here, I'll just read it because it's pretty amazing. So, to all those who, like those Christians in the book of Acts, look at who they are now and who they'll never be, and what they can do now, and what they'll never be able to do. And still ask God for the world. Without the friendship, commitment, okay, I'll skip that. Dear reader, I want to teach you how to pray a daring prayer that God always answers. It is brief, only one sentence with 4 parts, and tucked away in the Bible. But I believe it contains the key to the life of extraordinary favor with God. This petition has radically changed what I expect from God and what I experience every day by His power. In fact, thousands of believers who are applying its truth are seeing miracles happen on a regular basis. Will you join me for a personal exploration of Jabez? I hope you will. Chapter 1. Little Prayer, Giant Prize. Jabez called on the God of Israel. The little book you're holding is about what happens when ordinary Christians decide to reach for an extraordinary life. And mind you, I'm Jewish, I'm not Christian. But this is these are some powerful words, and I believe that words have power. So I'm going to share this, which, as it turns out, is exactly the kind God promises. My own story starts in the kitchen of kitchen with yellow counters and Texas-sized raindrops pelting the window. It was my senior year of seminary in Dallas. Darlene, my wife, and I were finding ourselves spending more and more time thinking and praying about what would come next. Where should I throw my energy, passion, and training? What did God want for us as a couple? I stood in our kitchen thinking again about the challenge I'd heard from the seminary chaplain. Dr. Richard Soom, want a bigger vision for your life, he had asked earlier that week. Sign up to be a Gimper for God. A Gimper, as Soom explained, it was somebody who always does a little more than what's required or expected. In the furniture business, for example, gimping is putting the finishing touches on the upholstery, patiently applying the ornamental extras that are a mark of quality and value. Dr. Soom took as his text the briefest of Bible biographies. Now, Jabez, welcome SoCal, come on up. Now, Soom took on his text the briefest of Bible biographies. Now, Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. Chronicle 1:4-9. Jabez wanted to be more and do more for God, and as we discovered by the end of verse 10, God granted him his request. End of verse, and a Bible story. Lord, I think I want to be the Gimper for you. I prayed as I looked out the window at the blustery spring rain, but I was puzzled. What exactly did Jabez do to rise above the rest? Why did God answer his prayer? I wondered. For that matter, why did God even include Jabez's mini profile in the Bible? One sentence has revolutionized my life the most: the cry of the Gimper named Jabez. For that matter, why did God... Oh, I already said that. Maybe it was the raindrops running down the window panes. Suddenly, my thoughts ran past verse 9, and I picked up the Bible and read verse 10. The prayer of Jabez. Something in his prayer would explain the mystery. I had to. Pulling a chair up to the yellow counter, I bent over my Bible and reading the prayer over and over. I searched with all of my heart for the future God had for someone as easy for me to say, as ordinary as I. The next morning, I prayed Jabez's prayer word for word, and the next, and the next. 30 years later, I haven't stopped. If you were to ask me what sentence other than my prayer for salvation had revolutionized my life and ministry the most, I would tell you that it was the cry of the Gimper named Jabez, who still remembered not for what he did, but for what he prayed, and for what happened next. In the pages of this little book, I want to introduce you to the amazing truths in Jabez's prayer for blessing and prepare you to expect God's astounding answers to it as a regular part of your life experience. How do I know that it will significantly impact you? Because of my experience and the testimonies of hundreds of others around the world with whom I've shared these principles. Because even more importantly, the Jabez prayer distills God's powerful will for our future. Finally, because it reveals that your Father longs to give you so much more than you may have ever thought to ask for. Just ask the man who had no future, the prodigy of the genealogy. Someone once said there is really very little difference between people, but that little difference makes a great deal of difference. Jabez doesn't stand astride the Old Testament like a Moses or a David, or light up the book of Acts like those early Christians who turned the world upside down. But one thing is sure, The little difference in his life made all the difference. You could think of him as the prodigy of the genealogy, or maybe the Bible's little big man. You'll find him hiding in the least read section of one of the least read books of the Bible. Something about this man caused the historian to pause, clear his throat, and switch tactics. That was in the little area over here. So, the first 9 chapters of 1 Chronicles was taken up with the official family tree of the Hebrew tribes, beginning with Adam and proceeding through thousands of years to Israel's return from captivity. Talk about boring. The long list of unfamiliar and difficult names, more than 500 of them, are likely to make even the bravest Bible students turn back. Take chapter 4. The descendants of Judah, Perez, Hezron, and Carmi, and Hur, and Shobal. And that's just the beginning. Ahumai, Ishma, Ipash, Hazel, Olponi, Anu. Forgive me if I mispronounce some of these names. They're kind of a challenge. I'd forgive you if you suddenly considered putting this little book aside and reach for your TV remote, but stay with me, because 44 names into the chapter, a story suddenly breaks through. Now, Jabez was more honorable than his brothers, and his mother called his name Jabez because I bore him in pain. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain." So God granted him what he requested. 1 Chronicles 4:9-10. In the next verse, the roll call for the tribe of Judah picks up as if nothing has happened. Chaleb, Suah, Mehir. Something about this man Jabez had caused the historian to pause in mid-drone, clear her throat, and switch tactics. Wait a minute, he seems to interject. You just gotta know something about this guy named Jabez. He stands head and shoulders above the rest. What was the secret to the enduring reputation of Jabez? You can search from front to back in your Bible, as I have, and you won't find any more information than we have in these 2 brief verses. Things started badly for a person no one had ever heard of. He prayed an unusual 1-sentence prayer. Things ended extraordinary well. Clearly, the outcome can be traced to his power. Something about Jabez's simple, direct request to God changed his life and left a permanent mark on the history books of Israel. Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, and your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil. At first glance, the four requests may strike you as sincere, sensible, even noble, but not terribly remarkable. Yet just under the surface of each lies a giant paradigm breaker that runs exactly opposite to the way you and I usually think. In the pages to come, I want to show you just how dramatically each of Jabez's requests can release something miraculous in your life, living beyond the limits. When was the last time God worked through you in such a way that you knew beyond doubt that God had done it? In fact, when was the last time you saw miracles happen on a regular basis in your life? If you're like most believers, you wouldn't know how to ask for that kind of experience, or even if you should. What I have to share with you has been opening up lives to God's mighty working for many years. Recently, I was in Dallas to teach on the Jabez blessing to an audience of 9,000. Later, over lunch, a man said to me, "Bruce, I heard you preach the message of Jabez 15 years ago, and I haven't stopped praying it. The change has been so overwhelming, I just never stopped." Across the table, another friend agreed. He said he'd been praying Jabez's little prayer for 10 years with similar results. The man next to him, a heart surgeon from Indianapolis, said he had been praying it for 5. I told them, "Friends, I've been praying Jabez for more than half my life. Because you're reading this book, I believe you share my desire to reach for a life that will be more honorable for God. Not that you wish others to reach for less, but for you, nothing but God's fullest blessing will do. When you stand before Him to give your accounting, your deepest longing is to hear, 'Well done.' God really does have unclaimed blessings waiting for you, my friend. I know it sounds impossible, yet embarrassingly suspicious in our self-serving day. Yet that very exchange, your want for God's plenty has been His loving will for your life from eternity past. And with a handful of core commitments on your part, you can proceed from this day forward with a confidence and expectations that your Heavenly Father will bring it to pass for you. Think of it this way. Instead of standing near the river's edge asking for a cup of water to get you through each day, you do something unthinkable. You would take the little prayer with the giant prize and jump into the river. At that moment, you would begin to let the loving currents of God's grace and power carry you along. God's great power for you will surround you and keep you forward into the profoundly important and satisfying life He has waiting. If this is what you want, keep reading. So, this is the Prayer of Jabez, and I'm in chapter 2. And if you've never heard the Prayer of Jabez, keep listening. And this is pretty amazing. So, chapter 2. So why not ask? Oh, that you would bless me indeed. You're at a spiritual retreat in the mountains with others who want to experience a fuller Christian life. For the duration of the retreat, everyone has been matched with a mentor. Yours is in his 70s, and he's been touching lives for God longer than you've been alive. On the way to the showers the first morning, you walk past his room. His door is ajar, and he has just knelt down to pray. You can't resist. How exactly does a giant of the faith begin his prayers, you wonder? You pause and lean closer. Will he pray for a revival? Pray for Hungary around the world? Pray for you? But this is what you hear. Oh Lord, I beg you first and most this morning, please bless me. Startled by such a selfish prayer, you pad down the hall to your shower. But as you adjusted the water temperature, a thought hits you. It's so obvious you can't believe you haven't thought of it before. Great men of faith think differently than the rest of us. By the time you're dressed and heading for breakfast, you're sure of it. The reason some men and women of faith rise above the rest, you decide, is that they think and pray differently than those around them. It is possible that God wants you to be selfish in your prayers, to ask for more and more again from your Lord. I've met so many earnest Christians who take it as a sign of immaturity to think such thoughts. They assume they'd They assume they'll seem impolite or greedy if they ask God for too many blessings. Maybe you think like that. If you do, I want to show you that such prayer is not the self-centered act it might appear, but a supremely spiritual one, and exactly the kind of request our Father longs to hear. First, let's take a closer look at Jabez's story. Not pain, but gain. As far as we can tell, Jabez lived in southern Israel after the conquest of Canaan and during the time of the Judges. He was born into the tribe of Judah and eventually became the notable head of the clan. Yet his story really begins with his name. His mother called his name Jabez because I bore him in pain. In Hebrew, the word Jabez means pain. A literal rendering could read, he causes or will cause pain. Doesn't sound like the start of promising life, does it? All babies arrive with a certain amount of pain, but something about Jabez's birth went beyond the usual. So much that the mother chose to memorialize it in her son's name. Why? The pregnancy or the delivery may have been traumatic. Perhaps the baby was born breech, or perhaps the mother's pain was emotional. Maybe the child's father abandoned her during the pregnancy. Maybe he had died. Maybe the family had fallen into such financial straits that the prospect of another mouth to feed brought only fear and worry. Only God knows for sure what caused the pain of this anguished mother. Not that it made much difference to young Jabez. He grew up with the name any boy would love to hate. Imagine if you had to go through childhood enduring the teasing of bullies, the daily reminders of your unwelcome arrival, and mocking questions like, "So, young man, what was your mother thinking?" Yet, by far, the heaviest burden of Jabez's name was how it defined his future. In Bible times, a man and his name were so intimately related that to cut off the name of an individual amounted to the same thing as killing him. A name was often taken as a wish for or prophecy about a child's future. For example, Jacob can mean grabber. A good one-word biography for that scheming patriarch. Naomi and her husband named their two sons Mahlon and Chilion. Translation, punny and pining. And that was exactly what they were. Both of them died in early childhood. Solomon means peace. And sure enough, he became the first king of Israel to reign without going to war. A name that meant pain didn't bode well for Jabez's future. Despite his dismal prospects, Jabez found a way out, and he had grown up. Give me a second. Give me a sec. Okay. Okay, back to the story. Let me make sure I got it. Be freed. Actually, I lost my page. So let me go back one step. Solomon. Okay, there we go. Solomon means peace, and sure enough, he became the first king of Israel to reign without going to war. A name that meant pain didn't bode well for Jabez's future. Despite his dismal prospects, Jabez found a way out. He had grown up hearing about the God of Israel who had freed his forefathers from slavery, rescued them from powerful enemies, and established them in the land of plenty. By the time he was an adult, Jabez believed and fervently hoped in this God of miracles and new beginnings. So why not ask for one? That's what he did. He prayed the biggest prayer, the biggest, most improbable request imaginable. Oh, that you would bless me indeed. I love the urgency, the personal vulnerability of his plea. In Hebrew, added indeed. To this prayer was like adding 5 exclamation points or writing the request. Hey, Anthony. You came in, I was reading the Prayer of Jabez. How are you?
You're reading the what?
Have you ever heard the Prayer of Jabez?
The prayer of what?
The Prayer of Jabez. I was just reading the Prayer of Jabez. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty powerful. If you look it up on Amazon. It's called the Prayer of Jabez, and what it is a prayer that it's hard to explain. Actually, if you go back into my YouTube channel, I started reading it and I explained it from the beginning. Or you can go back to the replay on this, because it's a powerful prayer, and I'll actually go back to it so you know what the prayer is and why it's so powerful. It was in the Bible. There's a small area in the Bible that was all about asking for God's prayers. And it was in the Old Testament. So I was raised Jewish, so we believe in the Old Testament. We haven't, but this prayer is like hidden in the Old Testament. It's like a really small section, and most people don't even know it's there. So let me get to that prayer.
My wife is Jewish.
Oh, okay. So
I'm an honorary member of the tribe.
Oh, there you go. So the Jabez prayer is Jabez, and Jabez called unto the God of Israel, saying, Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, so that I may not cause pain. So God granted him what he requested. It's 1 Chronicles 4:10, and I'm not I'm not a specialist in the Bible, but whatever that means. But it's a powerful prayer that people have been praying for a long time and seeing amazing things happen in their lives from just that small little prayer. So, you know what? I believe in what you put out into the world, you get back. So why not try a small little prayer to make your life better? So that's what I was talking about. I got I was up to chapter 2, and I figured it would be kind of a cool thing to add to, because we're all about mindset. And I figured I'd bring this little book, and it's like, how many? It's like 100 pages or something like that. It's really, really short. 93 pages. So it's a little book. It fits in your hand, and it's blessed people in their lives. Just reading the small little prayer every day. So that's why I figured I'd share it in here. We could do the replay, or you can go to the replay and go to the beginning of the book, or you can get the book yourself. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. You said Chronicles what?
It's called the Prayer of Jabez, and Jabez. Jabez. And it's Bruce Wilkinson wrote it. So let me, Yummy, come on up, introduce yourself. I'll read some more, probably read some more tomorrow if you want to hear some more. Come on up, Yummy, if you have time. Hello.
so many here.
Good evening, Yemi. Introduce yourself, where you're at, and welcome to Newly Licensed Now What? Are you newly licensed, or are you thinking about getting a real estate license?
Okay. I actually got into the group because I saw newly licensed, and I am newly licensed, and I'm still searching for a job. So I don't know what to expect, but then I got into the room. But was surprised to hear the reader reading. I don't know what it was reading, but whatever it looks like a podcast, and I'm a lover of audio books too. So I decided to hang on and see maybe I would understand what is being done.
Absolutely. It is the Prayer of Jabez, and it is written by Bruce Wilkinson. It's less than 100 pages, and I need to get back to reading it. I haven't read it in a while, and for some reason this week I saw it in my bookshelf, and just something made me decide to pick it up, and then I wanted to share it with the room since there wasn't a huge amount of people in the room. I figured I'd share it in the room, and I'd share it on my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is Sam661. So if you want to visit my YouTube channel, I have over 30 videos on my YouTube channel just from Newly Licensed Now What. So if you find some value in this room, you actually can go to my YouTube channel and see some of the wonderful guests we've had in the room, and some of the wonderful skills and people pouring into these rooms for at least 30 episodes. So I'm excited. Thank you for coming in. Yemi, what area are you in so we can send you referrals?
Okay, I'm a dietitian, a registered dietitian in Nigeria.
Oh, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Welcome. So you're a registered dietitian, and you're getting your real estate license as well?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
I hear you.
Okay. So I'm in Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a dietitian here in Nigeria.
Great. You do some.
So I got licensed months ago. It's October.
Licensed as a dietitian or licensed in real estate? Are you licensed in real estate besides being licensed as a dietitian?
No.
Okay, so you're licensed as a dietitian.
Yes, I'm licensed as a dietitian, to practice as a dietitian.
Wow, that's great. And welcome to the room. Maybe I need to clarify what, on the title. Maybe I need to clarify that it's mentorship for, real estate, but the skills you learn actually in real estate can actually be transferred to any business. Because if you're a licensed dietitian, you need to get clients, right? Or are you in a hospital?
Yeah.
And you need discipline.
Yep, and you need discipline, and you need goals, and you need everything that you would need in having a real estate license. You would need as any business.
Yes, I agree with you.
Especially mindset. Mindset's so important. Were you enjoying the Prayer of Jabez?
Well, I just joined in, so I was still trying to figure out what it is when Anthony asked the question. So I think I got the explanation from the little you told him. So I'm gonna look more into it to know about the prayers. I'm a Christian, so it really is not so difficult for me to key into that.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's a small little prayer.
Yeah, may I ask, in your estimation, what percentage of the population in Nigeria would you say is Christian? And what percentage of the population would be other religions?
Okay, I think the population of Christian in Nigeria is like 80. Okay, no, let me not say 80. Let's say like 40. We have Islamic to be like 40. Christian and Islamic are the most popular. So the traditional take the remaining one, the shades amidst themselves. And when I talk of the traditional, we have lots of traditional worshippers. But yet, they are not as much as the Christian religion and the Islamic religion. But the Christian and the Islamic religion are sharing that percentage. They are like side by side.
Interesting.
That is fascinating.
You know, when I say lots, we have different ethnic groups, okay? We have three major, the Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. So only for the Yoruba land, we've got lots of God. We have God of iron, God of fire, God of water, God of this, God of stone, God of that. So that's, I'm only talking of in the Yoruba land where I belong. So let's talk of the Igbo land or the Hausa land. So we have a lot of traditional worshippers, but they are not as popular as the Christianity and the Islamic.
Is there any is there Judaism where you're at?
No. There's no Buddhist says we don't even worship Buddha. We worship some gods that it's just so different from every other country. Like they take pleasure in minute things, some non-living things that you would not even think of. One could pick up a leaf and call it his god and start worshiping it, believing in it, and you see people shopping after the person to worship the same god. So
Fascinating. Because we have, there are Ethiopian Jews that it's actually a very big group of Ethiopian Jews.
Jews.
Yeah, Judaism.
Yeah. Those who worship, they're Christian, right?
Well, all religion came from Judaism at one point, and then it split off. Judeo-Christian in general, yes. It's fascinating. I love religions. I love hearing about different religions and where they're from. And, when it comes down to it, we all have a higher power or some spiritual self that we believe in to help us to be better selves. Hey, Grant. Coming up, my friend. Come on up.
How's it going?
Good. I saw you peeked in and we're listening to the Prayer of Jabez. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I never have.
It's pretty powerful. If you look it up, just Google the Prayer of Jabez, and Bruce Wilkinson wrote it. It's a little less than 100-page book, and it's got this really powerful prayer that a lot of people have been praying for a long time. And it, we talk about mindset all the time in this room. So if there's something out there that can help you to excel at what you do, hey, why not share it, right?
Absolutely.
How are you today? How was your weekend? And what's new? What's going on?
I have to hire somebody, and I don't really hire a lot of people, so I gotta find somebody to hire. And I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my brain around that.
In what position? Just a sales?
Director of franchise sales.
Well, I tell you, in these rooms, I'm sure you can find somebody in these rooms to that would be reliable. Or there are so many, Indeed, and there's other ones. But the cool thing about in these rooms, you can find people that maybe have been seasoned agents for such a long time and maybe want to transition into doing franchise sales. Or maybe, you could put you know what? Grant, you actually could put a room together and title it looking for, whatever the secret sauce to your business is. Title
We
it.
still need to do a room on that.
Yeah, we do.
Shawnee wants to do it. David Hills mentioned he wants to do it. Yeah.
We just have to arrange a time to do it. Because the holidays come, and then holidays is a crazy time for all of us. What do we got? 4 more days, 5 more days. Maybe we could do something after the New Year's. That's probably a good idea. Then the holidays is past, and people are more apt to come into the room. I just invited Nicholas to come on and introduce himself. Grant, introduce yourself so that way we know, where to send referrals and kind of know what you're doing.
What's up, Nicholas? Yeah, my name is Grant Clayton. I'm the founder and CEO of 1% List. And we're started outside New Orleans, but we're franchising nationwide. So basically we are a lower fee, full service real estate brokerage. That's what we are. Me and Nick go way back.
Thank you for introducing yourself and coming into the room. Is always supporting and pouring out to people that come in, and maybe they're just getting their feet wet. They just don't know what to do next, and that's why I created this room and the different social media channels that I put it on, because we all need assistance. We all need to know what is the secret sauce. We all need to know what is next and how to get to our next level. So I appreciate you. Nicholas, welcome to the room. Who are you? Where you're at? How was your weekend? Let us know a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Howdy, y'all. My name is Nicholas. I am a realtor in New York. I focus on luxury and investment properties across the 5 boroughs. And my weekend was good. It was good. So I can't complain. All is well. I had an open house. Unfortunately, that wasn't good, but it is what it is. So everything's doing well, moving, grooving, and going along. So
Fantastic. The cool thing about open houses is you never know what's going to happen from those open houses. There's been things that I went and done in this business. Like I would go to, fairly recently, I went to Marina Del Rey, and I showed another agent from another state some homes. And he didn't buy anything, nothing interested him. But I received a referral from him from another agent in his state that had another client that wanted to move to California. So you really never know what, taking some time and helping somebody out and adding value to their lives is going to bring to you. So maybe that open house did do something that you could see right now. But maybe if you look down the line, maybe something will come from that because you did the legwork, and you'll get paid for it sometime.
I got to get on this franchise call, but I just want to drop out this little gem. Last open house I did 5 years ago, I won the beer pong contest. It was me and another agent that worked for me, and a lender and a title rep. And I still have pictures buried in my phone somewhere of a bunch of drunk people playing beer pong in an open house. That was the last open house I did 5 years ago. Good times.
That's a good send-off right there.
I'm telling you, that's the money shot right there. That's the little Tyson right hook.
Thank you. I'll be here all day.
I'll be back in a minute.
That was a fun one. I like that.
Nick, you're on Long Island?
Yes, that is my primary area.
I live on the south.
Oh, you live on the South Shore? Oh, awesome. Yeah, I focus on, I do a lot on the North Shore.
Oh, great, yeah. I live down at Belleville.
Oh, very nice. My favorite thing down in Belmore is Fat Boys Burritos, if you know what that is.
Yeah. I know it too well.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Sounds like good times in New York.
Yeah, there's this place by me called Fat Boys Burrito, and they have very good burritos, amongst other things that they cover in all kinds of crazy sauces.
If I get it every day, thank God I don't, because I'll be 500 pounds.
Yeah, I try to steer clear of it as much as possible as well.
Now, question, guys. Are burritos at Fat Boys Burritos, are they Puerto Rican burritos? Or are they burritos from folks that come from Mexico?
That's a good question because, you know what, to be honest, I didn't know that there was really much of a difference. I wouldn't know how to differentiate between Puerto Rican or Mexican burritos. I didn't know that was a thing.
I gotta say, Sam, these are the most American burritos you'll ever see in your life. I don't think it gets more American than these things. They're like mac and cheese, burgers, French fries, mozzarella. It's all crazy stuff down there, so I don't think it gets more American than that.
Yeah, Nick is right, they've totally Americanified, if that's a word, the burrito.
Yeah, because my wife's from New York. She's from Canarsie. She came out here when she was like 7 or 8 years old. But she said she had a burrito in California, and she said there was no burritos in New York when she lived there. So is that something that changed from when she was young?
I think the proliferation of the Chipotle chain has sparked a little bit of that. There's also a great chain of taco places now. I think they're on their 3rd or 4th location now, called Dirty Taco. Place is fantastic.
So things probably changed as time went by, because she said she came to California and she had a burrito and she just got totally sick because she's like, what is this? When she was little. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to hear the change of food as time goes by.
Another really good place, Anthony, is Street to Table. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yeah. Very good.
So cool. See, you never know what the conversation is going to go to in newly licensed. Now what?
It's so funny. I mean, I never thought that I'm actually waiting outside my daughter's dentist appointment right now. She's having another adjustment to her braces. She's 13. And I never thought on just a regular random Monday afternoon I would be speaking to, I knew I'd probably run into you, and you're in California. then having a conversation with someone in Nigeria, and then someone popping in that's literally, 8 miles away from me on the North Shore of Long Island. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And earlier we had somebody from Afghanistan. I don't know if that was somebody pulled on my leg or if they were actually from Afghanistan. So it was kind of a strange visitor.
So funny.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. And I created this room to get back to those out there that are struggling, that are just trying to get past that. What do I do next? Nicholas, you're doing the luxury market. Did you start in luxury, or did you kind of work your way into it? I guess he's busy. Or he can't find the mute button. That happens a lot. And we got George down below. Hey, George, you want to come up? You want to say hi and introduce yourself? Let us know where you're at so we can send referrals to you. You know what they say, a closed mouth does not get fed. So I always talk about that in these rooms.
Yeah, Sam, not sure if you're aware, but the North Shore of Long Island is absolutely beautiful. It's called the Gold Coast. A lot of very expensive homes and beautiful homes up there. If you look on the map, like north of the main artery across Long Island, which is called the Long Island Expressway, it's north of that. Beautiful homes. It's not as built up. These places have very large plots of land and very expensive homes and very expensive zip codes. If you've ever seen Eyes Wide Shut, that's filmed in Old Westbury. So you get an idea of the homes that are around there. It's absolutely beautiful up there.
Yeah, I saw that movie, and also the Long Island Medium. That lady, my wife loves that old show.
Yeah. So she's not a North Shore person. I hate to say, she's more a South Shore type of going on. But yeah, like if you go like the South Shore where I am, it's more densely populated. Most of the lots are all like 6,000 square foot lots, 6,000 to 8,000. But when you go to the North Shore, it's all like massive, estates.
Kind of like our Beverly Hills and Malibu and those type of locations.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm going to go and I'm going to shut down this room. I appreciate you, Anthony, for coming in. Congratulations on your license.
Thank you very much.
And once you get into when are you going to onboard for eXp? Do you know?
Well, actually, I jumped off before because the state broker was calling me, so I had to jump off before. So it's in the works. So hopefully by this week, I should be in. They already gave me a guest pass or a temporary sign-in.
It depends on how many people they're onboarding. It could take a week. It could take like 7 to 10 days, depending on what's going on right now.
Yeah, I figured, it's Christmas too, so I don't really expect much anyway.
Well, as soon as you make it into workplace, let me know, because I actually created quite a few workplace groups, which are open for anybody.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I just hope I can, come stampeding out of the gate for January 1. I don't want to waste any time.
Absolutely, and the cool thing is after January 1 is when everyone's done with the holidays and they're ready to get back to work. So that's a good thing about January, and the listings you're going to get in January, or you're starting to look towards the spring for when the market really picks up. So start in January, start at least communicating with people about where they want to be in the summer.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any hesitation in calling anyone. But I do have one reservation, and that is because I've been in sales, and it's just so transparent. Like calling somebody who I haven't spoken to verbally, like on the phone or face to face in like over 5 years. It just seems so transparent to me that, oh, why is Anthony calling me? He must need wants. Oh, yeah, I'm a real estate agent. Now talk to me. And it's just, I don't know. It just seems phony.
Well, don't be phony. Be real. Start spreading the news on your social media. Start creating content on your social media. If they see your social media, they're going to know you're a real estate. But, just be real. I mean, people can see past fake. Just be real. If it's somebody you really want to talk to, if there's somebody that you.
Sorry, Sam, I got another call. I got to run.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to close down this room anyways. Thanks, Anthony. We'll talk to you soon, brother. So that was newly licensed. Now what? We kind of went down a rabbit hole a few times, but if you don't have the Prayer of Jabez, it could change your life, and you never know. So take care, brother.
All right, thanks, Sam. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
So I just closed that room, and I'm going to close these also. Thank you so much for watching Newly Licensed Now What? This is the Prayer of Jabez. This is what I was talking about earlier. I actually read a couple chapters. It's less than 100 pages. And, I'll read the passage that is what people have seen their lives changes. The Jabez Prayer. And Jabez called unto God of Israel, saying, Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, so that I may not cause pain. So God granted him what he requested. And that's the little short prayer that Bruce Wilkinson and some of these other people in this book were praying. So, and I'll hashtag Prayer Jabez in this broadcast, this episode, so that way people can kind of see what it's all about, and hopefully mindset. It's all about mindset. So if there's something out there that can help you get to your goals, never hurts to try. So, and I don't like the word try. So it never hurts to see what you can accomplish using that tool. There you go. That's a little bit better than try. So I will talk to you guys later. I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. And go look up the Prayer of Jabez. Hey, Lisa. So go look up the Prayer of Jabez, and we will talk to you soon. So nice seeing you. Let me say hi to everyone in the room. Big Mama Cheryl. Nice seeing you. Gilbert. Philip. King Jaquil Martin. How are you doing, brother? And Lisa Horse Girl. Appreciate all of you coming in, and I appreciate all of you coming into my Instagrams, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. You too. We will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.